Previously on Expedition Bigfoot.
If Bigfoot is here, we're gonna find evidence.
We are right in the heart of coal country. I'm on my way to talk to a preacher. He was hearing some crazy sounds out of his backyard.
Here's the video.
That's wild.
Look at this, water, shelter. I think we're in the right area. Maybe we can provoke something to come out. Popping. It's definitely something.
Ronnie, come in. Come in. Just heard something really big run past me. Holy. There's something over there. Ronnie, come in.
Deep in the forests of southeastern Kentucky, primatologist Dr. Maria Mayer and Bigfoot researcher Ronnie LeBlanc are at opposite ends of a mile-long pathway near an abandoned mine they believe could be a habitat for a very large creature.
Ronnie. Ronnie.
Maria, any luck?
Ronnie, something big just ran past me.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you. Something definitely large ran past me.
So something ran past. Maria, I expected to come in my direction. I'm trying to find out what's at the top of the ridge here, but I'm hearing some popping. And it's scary. Dripping sweat. I think there's something on the ridge above me. It's moving when I'm moving. When I stop, it stops.
No, it's just dead quiet. Ronnie, I'm heading back towards the camp. What's going on with the walkies?
The fact that our walkies weren't working the moment that something ran past Maria, that is very strange. A lot of researchers have encountered their equipment, cameras, and all these different electronics malfunctioning or being disrupted. We had something similar happen to us last year. You guys got a copy?
My light just went out on me.
I cannot get it to turn back on again.
It just stopped.
Hey,
I think whatever ran past you got up on the ridge above me and was following me.
so this is really different to just try and become invisible. With gorillas, you want them to hear you. You want them to make the decision whether to accept you or not.
Yeah.
Humans have a tendency to think that they're at the top of the food chain, but the truth is that when you're in the wilds, you realize just how small and insignificant you are in this element. In that moment, I very suddenly felt incredibly vulnerable.
We definitely know we're not alone out here.
It knows we're here.
Been out here for a few hours now. It's a lot more thick than I had anticipated. All right, onward.
2 miles north of Ronnie and Maria's position, former Army Sergeant and survivalist Russell Acord is traveling southeast along one of the dozens of ridges in their target zone.
Whatever you're hunting and seeking, deer, elk, bear, you have to fight for it, you have to work for it, and you have to climb. I believe that Bigfoot to be an intelligent creature. I believe it's going to be in the high ground. Tactically, that's where you want to be. You can drop down either side of the ridge line, being able to avoid human contact.
Hey, I think I'm on somebody's property here. There's a guy down here working. I want to go down and talk to him first, all right?
All right.
Hello. How you doing? Doing a little bit of research here.
There's still people in this area, and these people see it all, they hear it all, and they're submerged in this environment.
Hey, sorry about that. I didn't realize I was up on your property.
That's all right, actually. A little fright.
I'm sorry about that. Hey, I'm just moving through this area with a small team. We're trying to get data on some specific wildlife in this area.
There's a lot more animals around here than there used to be.
Yeah?
People's moved away, and nature's taken back over.
You grew up here?
Yeah. I was almost 30 years in mine.
30 years in the mines. That's some hard work, man.
Hard on the body, too.
I bet.
When you're going back through there, be careful, because when we mine,
Yeah.
we have mine breaks. You have to be careful. You fall on one of them, and might never find you.
This area has been mined for 100 years. When you drill into the side of a mountain and you make a void, if the soil doesn't sustain that hole, it'll collapse right off from underneath of your feet.
30 years in the mines, you know all those other guys? Anybody ever talk about anything strange here in the wild?
I wouldn't talk about it.
You wouldn't talk about it? No.
I hear noises. It's not a howl and it's not a growl. I don't know what you call it.
You've been here your whole life?
Yeah.
So you'd recognize if it was a coyote or a bear bawling or something like that. Just right.
Right, yeah.
But
Different thing.
stuff you couldn't explain.
Nice sound, too.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Be careful.
Yeah, thank you. You too. Coal miner, been here for 30 some years. Let's go see what's up ahead of us here. So he's pretty dialed in, and some of the sounds that he heard, he did not recognize what they were, which is probably exactly what we're here looking for.
Miles south, just beyond their target zone. Bryce Johnson has set up his command center. From here, he'll be able to monitor the team's movements, review evidence, and coordinate delivery of supplies to the team in the field.
Well, if I can just single this out a little bit like this.
Bryce is using state-of-the-art audio processing software to isolate and clean the sound of the possible Bigfoot howl that was recorded by a local preacher within their target zone.
This is the video that I got from Tracy, the witness, out in his backyard. This is the actual video right here. It does sound like what so many witnesses report. If this really was a Bigfoot creature right in Tracy's backyard, then it's indigenous to this area. So I'm really excited to get this out to the team in the field, and hopefully they can play it over the loudspeaker system and get a response back. As soon as I'm done here, I'll send this to Russell, but you know, it's just gonna kind of take time to go through this and just come away with a really clean audio file. Oh, interesting. You know, so people are sort of familiar with who we are now, and one of the advantages is individuals trust us with sharing their encounter stories, their locations, and even some of their evidence. And so I just got a text from a guy named Duncan, who's in the local area. But it sounds like, you know, this guy has grown up here his entire life, and he says he knows where there's a lot of Bigfoot activity. And that's really kind of what we're looking for, is we need the intel of the local residents of this community. Can't leave any stone unturned.
Looks like we got some water up ahead of us. It looks like either some holes or some mining area. Some of these boreholes. Oh yeah, these are boreholes right here. Looks like they're full of water too.
Boreholes like these are created by auger mining. Large 3-foot wide drills bore up to 200 feet to extract coal from the earth. But unlike larger mines built for people to enter, these holes have no support to prevent them from caving in.
We go way back
There are hundreds of mine shafts around here. If Bigfoot needs a place to hide, where humans would be uncomfortable going into, this is the perfect environment for just that. Watch out, watch out. These are very dangerous. We see all the rock here. Look how wide this is. A big animal could definitely hide in here. It would be insane for a person to go into one of these holes. We don't know how safe they are, if the soil would collapse. Looks like whatever's holding it up, there's not much. Oh yeah, these are boreholes right here. I don't want to see if there's any tracks, any kind of evidence that Bigfoot is here.
Russell Acord is inspecting an abandoned 200-foot mine shaft for signs that a Bigfoot may be hiding inside.
These are very dangerous. Looks like there's been a lot of erosion. Oh. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
What's happening is they're taking the material from beneath it, the coal. Once they're done, they back up and withdraw. Just natural gravity from the weight of the rocks drops down and leaves this mess. So I'm gonna get out and away from this. I think I'm gonna stay out of the man-made auger holes for right now. It's far too unstable, and that's too bad because this is an ideal shelter for a Bigfoot. In fact, we found some great hair samples in mine shafts just last year.
Line it up towards the mine. Move in a little closer.
Isn't that the weirdest thing?
Unbelievable.
What is that? Those hairs? Hey guys, there's some reddish brown in there. Got it. That's long.
Some of that loose rock is just really fragile coming off. Cobwebs right there in front. Nothing's been in or out of here. Let's get away from this. I don't like that. I'll keep moving. If I'm below this ridge line, I only have a limited perspective. I can only see 40, 50 feet. So we're gonna keep marching forward. I wanna go to those upper levels and see if I can get some information from above. It's gonna work.
Two and a half miles to the south, Dr. Maria Mayer and Ronnie LeBlanc are inspecting the 12 motion-activated trail cameras they placed along the mile-long corridor. Their hope is that one of them captured an image of whatever creature they heard the night before.
Did you see anything?
Just a shot or two of us walking through, that's it.
All right, I'll go check the next one. Just some shots of us walking by. All right, to the next one. Let's head back to the water source.
All right.
It's right over here.
That thing that ran past you, did it sound big?
It did sound big, and I couldn't see anything at all. And honestly, my instinct just said back away.
Wow.
It was right over here because it's before I hit that little creek.
Okay.
I heard it run, I mean, just along the edge of this. It wasn't that far.
Did you hear like 2 feet? Did it sound like a deer?
It didn't sound like a deer. It sounded heavier than that.
Wow.
And it definitely sounded more sort of like a heavy human.
Right, it was big.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't really scare easily, and I've spent enough time in the woods to sort of know the sounds to expect, but to suddenly hear a large animal run past me, that was enough to get my adrenaline going, and that doesn't happen very often. Look, I want to check out the camera that I left by the water opening.
All right.
This is actually the camera I'm most interested in.
Yeah.
It was right here. I had it set just here, pointing that way, so that if an animal came in, we'd have the entire swath of this little pond here.
Right.
There it is. I had tied it to that log. It may have just slipped off, or if...
Or something grabbed it. It's still on there. That can't move on its own.
Wow.
That is eerily similar to what we had in Oregon.
Well, it was pointing that way.
Last year, the team discovered that a trail camera they had set up had been intentionally moved.
That's odd.
That is odd. Wow. I can't assume it was thrown, but chimps in the field, I mean, we use trail cameras all the time, are known to mess with cameras because they're naturally curious. So what other animal out here could have done this? This one is rather puzzling. Are we going to be able to retrieve any images off there, do you think?
If we have anything on it, we could damage it. I'm a little nervous to do that right now.
Why don't we try sending it to Bryce and see if he can extract anything from it?
Great idea.
Now that we've checked all the cameras, let's head back and we'll use the red lights tonight so that we can see a little bit better than we could last night.
Yeah, something was definitely paralleling me as I was going down that way. So
let's head out.
Been hearing the turkeys. Whatever eats meat, we'll definitely find it on this trail. I'm gonna stick with this, stay with this path. If there's game moving through here, everything else is moving through.
2.5 miles north of Maria and Ronnie, Russell is attempting to maneuver to the top of the next ridge. It is in these high points that he believes Bigfoot is most likely to be hiding.
I think as a society, we've gotten used to the comforts in our life. We've lost sight of what it's like to step out in the middle of the forest, strip everything away, and get in touch with those instincts, especially with research. Those instincts can lead you on a path that will help find what you're looking for. You just have to learn to trust them. Walking on this ridge, I would imagine, is the exact same way Bigfoot would conduct business. They take the high ground because tactically, that is the place you want to be in any given situation.
Man, this is perfect. Look at this whole panoramic view. You see that old trail over there? How all grown over that is? If you look down into this valley, there's a plant called kudzu.
Kudzu, known as the vine that ate the South, was first brought over from Japan in the late 1800s and has thrived in the Southeast ever since. This dense vegetation may provide the perfect cover for large animals to move freely through the area.
But below all of this that you're seeing is a whole nother ecosystem that lives underneath of it. It's big enough for large animals, deer and elk, walk through underneath of here. There's no shortage of food and resources here. Can certainly feed a full-grown Bigfoot. It's amazing.
So my idea, anything that puts off a heat trace against this background temperature will show up on my thermals. I have to be quiet and not draw any attention to myself. I don't need anything on these other hillsides to know that I'm here. This is where we wait.
As Russell keeps watch over the possible Bigfoot feeding ground, 17 miles away in the small town of Benham, Bryce Johnson waits to follow up on a lead he received from a local.
I'm waiting for a gentleman to pick me up. His name is Duncan. He contacted me yesterday and told me that he knows a spot where Bigfoots are frequently known to cross the highway. Now, believe it or not, this is not an uncommon pattern. Hundreds of eyewitnesses have reported seeing Bigfoot as they cross the road.
Spotting Bigfoot near or running across a road has become one of the most commonly reported types of sightings. One of the best known was captured on a police dash cam. The footage shows a large, dark, bipedal creature crossing a remote highway in rural Georgia.
What the crap?
What was that?
Did you see that?
Yes.
That looked like a bear, but it was running on 2 feet. Oh, my goodness.
Duncan should arrive any second now, and I'm just hoping he's right about the location where we're going. Duncan? Hey, what's up, man? I'm Bryce. Thank you for meeting me tonight.
Glad to be here.
You say you know of a place where Bigfoot is known to cross the road?
Yes.
Do you think Bigfoots are active in this area around this time of year?
I would say that Bigfoot is active in this area all times of the year.
Uh-huh.
Animals moving around. This thermal is really a great way to canvas a very large area and be able to see if there's anything that stands out. Thermal gives a really good hot heat trace.
And you're able to find it right away.
Okay, if you look over on this other hillside, there's a couple of elk. I'll go ahead and get a little closer. Watch this. Bull. That's a big bull. These hills are completely alive with wildlife. Let's see what else we can find.
Do you think these creatures are dangerous?
I think they could be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, any animal that would be that size would be brute strength. If they're a hunter and they capture deer, they've got to have the intelligence to be able to subdue it.
We've been at this for a couple hours, and so far it's just the elk. I'm not seeing much activity in the bottom of this ravine at all.
Oh, wait, look. Right above it. Holy crap. What in the heck is that? It's big.
I'll get that zoomed in. Get details where it's all at.
Is it a bear?
No, it's not a bear. It's not even moving like a bear. It looks like it's trying to close in on him. Holy, it's hunting.
So far, it's just the elk.
Wait, look. Right above it. Something is coming in on it. It's hunting.
After observing 2 elk feeding on kudzu, Russell has discovered a third animal 200 feet up a ravine that appears to be hunting them.
Get that zoomed in.
That's no bear. That thing is putting off a big thermal. Insane. Look at that. The elk saw it, look. Where'd it go? It just disappeared. The elk noticed it, and I think the element of surprise was gone. It decided not to attack. I think it dropped into the kudzu and headed up on the ridge.
I gotta let Bryce know about this. Nothing else is moving tonight. I know we're on the right path.
Three miles to the southwest, Ronnie and Maria are exploring the area above the trail where Ronnie believes a very large animal was paralleling him the previous night.
These all look so creepy.
But after hours of hiking, their investigation has turned up nothing.
So, we've been at this for hours here.
Yeah.
I think today it just doesn't want to be found. We go back tonight, we regroup, because I think we've exhausted this place right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. Good night.
Started hearing the popping sounds again that I was hearing earlier. Ray, was that you? Something's walking around up here. So, you know what time it is right now, right? The witching hour.
Ronnie, you're gonna hear sounds. You're gonna hear a lot of them. That doesn't mean that Bigfoot is outside our tent. I'm gonna try to go to sleep so that we can get an early start tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Good night.
Good night. I understand why Ronnie's on edge. It's intimidating. Especially in an area with so much history where, was so heavily populated, tens of thousands of people, and then suddenly it's down to hundreds. Nature has really reclaimed this, and Nature is powerful. Definitely more powerful than we are.
We just ease up too, because this road's going to get a little rough.
This is the road that Bigfoot is often seen on?
Yes.
This is fascinating. Our target zone is really just based off of processing the data from our algorithm. And Duncan has pointed us to a Bigfoot hotspot well within our target zone. That just tells me that our algorithm works, and we have a great chance for spotting Bigfoot. Well, I brought some equipment. I brought an infrared scope. Let's keep moving.
Sounds good.
Having this high-definition thermal camera, I'll be able to spot anything that's close to the road and thinking about crossing it. I am just scoping the wood line here, looking for anything giving off a heat signature.
A good look down deep into the woods down there.
Wow. Oh, wait a minute, I see something. Stop right here. You see that? I am just scoping the wood line here, looking for anything giving off a heat signature. Oh, wait a minute, I see something. Do you see that?
What the crap is that?
I don't know.
While investigating a road known for Bigfoot crossings, Bryce has spotted something large on the thermal just 200 yards away.
It's gone now. Just gonna scan the wood line.
It just ran in front of us to that side. What the hell?
Oh, there it is again. It disappeared. I'm just gonna focus in. Right there.
There it is.
You see that? Duncan, pull over right now. Duncan, can you turn on your spotlight? You see anything? Oh yeah, there we go. It could be anything. Yeah, I got something back there.
That's weird.
It is weird. There it goes that way.
And over the bank.
Nothing. Well, what do you think, Duncan?
You know, you can't find it if you ain't out looking for it.
Amen. All right, well, let's keep looking. I mean, we're clearly on the right track. What we saw in that thermal could have been anything. As we know, this forest is teeming with life, but I don't know of any animal that moves quite like that did. Look, we're in the southeastern corner of our target zone, and whatever that was, perhaps it was trying to cross the road and we scared it off. The question is, where was it going and why? We're just gonna have to keep searching to find out.
I need to work my way up through this kudzu because I want to get to that space where I saw that thermal. If I can get to that space, try to find out what it was, and work my way up that ridge line.
Russell believes the creature that he saw stalking the elk escaped up the mountain above, and now he's attempting to track the animal's movements.
The thermal hit I got last night was high above where the elk were standing. It had positioned itself in an elevated position, close to the top of the tree line. This is the type of thing, tactically, that a very intelligent predator will do. So today, my objective, get on that same path, go up into that same area, and I'm gonna follow whatever that was.
I let Bryce know about that strange thermal hit I got last night. He says he's gonna send me something. Hang on. Give me a second. Look at that.
I just got something from Bryce, and he's uploaded a perceived Bigfoot howl from this local region or this local area. So it's great that I actually get a sound from this environment and this area that I can actually play and hopefully prompt a response.
Last year, the team used an extremely powerful speaker system to broadcast a reported Bigfoot howl from within their target zone, and they received a call back from an unidentified animal.
Hear that?
Now armed with a new sound from Bryce, Russell can perform a similar broadcast.
If what I saw last night did come up this way, this sound might be exactly what I need to track it down. Should be a little flat up here. It opens out over top of this nice valley. I've come over the crest of this ridge, and I'm looking at a whole nother broad expansion. I think this is a great place. I know exactly what I need to do at this point. I'm going to set up my audio broadcast to where I can actually put a sound out there and see if I can get a reaction.
Russ to Maria.
Hey, Russ.
I got something on the thermals the other night, and I've been tracking this thing. What's your location?
I'm sending you my coordinates now.
Perfect. You guys are very close to me.
Just wanted to bring you guys in on something. Going to run a vocalization, alleged Bigfoot call from the Appalachian Mountains.
I'm going to play the sound from up here on the ridge. I want you guys in position in the hollow below.
Great idea.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.
Be careful.
All right.
Solid plan.
That's great.
I like it.
Maria and Ronnie will move into position in the hollow below Russell, who will be armed with the speaker system. And he's also brought a new tool.
Parabolic mic.
A parabolic mic is a directional microphone used by law enforcement for collecting audio evidence and intercepting communications. Using the curvature of the dish, sound waves are amplified and directed to a receiver that is able to capture even faint sounds hundreds of feet away with crystal clarity.
If something responds to that audio broadcast, I want to record it. I want to know what it is. I just hope that Ronnie and Maria are ready for whatever might be coming their way.
Ronnie, I think this is a good spot.
Yeah.
Let's call Russell.
Deep within their target zone, the team will play a possible Bigfoot call that was recorded by a local preacher nearby in the hopes of receiving a return call. If they can elicit a response, it may give away the creature's position, allowing the team to gain a visual.
Hey, Russell.
Go, Maria.
Hey, Russell. Ronnie and I have just gotten into position.
Russell is stationed on a cliff with a high-powered speaker system that will blast the howl across the area. Ronnie and Maria are positioned in the hollow directly below him.
Can't wait to hear this call.
The game plan tonight is for Russ to play that vocalization from the ridge line and see if something responds. One concern is if there's an animal out there, we don't know what we'd be communicating to it. We could be making a distress call or provoking aggression. We just don't know. Something that we note with primates is that they have very distinct calls and vocalizations to express different things to members of the group. They make one that is specific to danger, like a predator, but it gets more and more complex. For example, there's one vocalization for a ground predator versus a tree predator.
We'll see what it produces. Hopefully it's nothing aggressive. A lot of the stories in Kentucky involving Sasquatch, there seems to be a lot of aggression. There's a lot of instances where they are doing these charges or they are throwing rocks, sticks. There's an immediate feeling that you are not supposed to be here and someone's telling you to get lost.
If you're ready to play that call, we are too.
Sounds good. Give me about 60-second count.
All right, sounds good.
Started recording. I'm going to turn it all the way up. And I'm going to hit play.
is that?
Is that a coyote?
Sounds like coyotes were responding.
Yeah. Nature's recognizing something, and they're responding to it. It's exactly what we want.
You heard the coyotes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we did hear the coyotes.
Stand by. 10 seconds. I'm going to play that
That again. Be listening.
There we go.
Standing by.
Tell me you heard that.
Ronnie. Ronnie, what was that?
I don't know. I've never heard anything like that. That was crystal clear.
There's no way there was a coyote.
That had a more of a whistle, long-term whistle.
All of the animals that I know that are here, none of them sound like that.
Right.
So
That sounded freaking
I
close.
can't begin to explain what that was. I know all the animals that are here, and I could say without a question of the doubt that that sound didn't come from any known animal here. Hey, Russ, are you making calls again?
That's not me.
What?
I haven't played anything since the last time I told you.
There's sounds that are happening all around us. Sound like something moving down here.
Let's really pay attention where it's coming from. I think there's one there. And there's another one over here. They're on either side of us. I think there's one there. And there's another one over here. They're on either side of us.
We are caught in the middle of two vocalizations.
Copy.
They have vocalizations on both sides of them, so they're in front and behind of where they're just traveling into. It sounds to me like they've actually placed themselves in the center of that attention.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It's coming from that direction. Heard movement. What is that?
I have no idea.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Something either fell or was thrown just now.
There's definitely movement over here. I think something's coming up this way. I feel like we need to be on higher ground.
All right, well then let's go that way. Well, it's definitely a vantage point for them to be up higher.
Yeah.
I still hear it up here.
You know what? I'm starting to think that sound we heard was back there, but whoever made that sound is probably coming around this way now. Because we keep on hearing those pops and cracks. It's gonna go. And here's it over here.
It's coming from over there now. So you think whatever we heard up there is now down there?
Yeah.
They're tracking us.
They're coming around now. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3.
There are 3, not 2.
I know for a fact that if they call for me or they need my help, I go.
Next time on Expedition Bigfoot.
What is that?
Ronnie, slow down. You think there's a Bigfoot there, and you charge at it. That is something that could have not just injured you, could have injured me. If you had been on one of my expeditions, you'd have been gone.
There's something tall and black standing just off from a tree. The teeth on that thing was unreal. That's the point where we just ran for our lives.
I see toe prints, a defined arch, and a heel indentation. Something large has been coming through here.
It looks treacherous, but this is where we have to go.
Hang on, hang on.